Amina's heart began to fill with unease, but she pushed her doubts aside, convincing herself that it was just the stress of travel. One night, as they camped by a river, Amina awoke to find Kofi standing by the water's edge, whispering in a language she did not understand. His voice was low and guttural, his eyes glowing with an eerie light. A shiver ran down Amina's spine, but she remained silent, too afraid to confront him. She watched in silence, her heart pounding with fear and confusion. Kofi, sensing her presence, turned to her with a cold smile. "Go back to sleep, my dear," he said smoothly, his voice laced with menace. "Everything is fine." Amina, too terrified to argue, obeyed. Her mind racing with questions and doubts. She lay awake for hours, her heart heavy with dread. As they continued their journey, Kofi began to return the borrowed items to the original owners. The first to go were the golden chariots and the fine horses, handed back to the desert genie who had lent them. Amina watched in shock as the grand procession diminished, her heart filling with dread and confusion. "What is happening?" she demanded, her voice trembling with fear. "Why are you giving away our belongings?" Kofi's eyes glinted with malice as he responded, "These were never ours to keep, my dear. They were borrowed, just like everything else." Amina's heart pounded with terror as she realized the extent of the deception. The next to go were the jewels and precious gems, returned to the mountain spirits who had lent them. Amina's heart sank as she watched her treasures disappear, her dreams of wealth and opulence crumbling before her eyes. She felt a growing sense of helplessness, her pride shattered by the harsh reality of her situation. "What are you doing?" Amina asked, her voice trembling. "Returning what does not belong to me," Kofi replied with a cryptic smile. Amina's heart pounded in her chest, fear creeping into her mind. The man she married seemed to be unraveling before her eyes, his perfect facade slipping away. As they traveled deeper into the forest, Kofi began to shed the borrowed body parts. He returned the striking head to the sorcerer, the swift legs to the forest spirit, and the skilled hands to the river nymph. With each return, his appearance became more grotesque and terrifying. Amina's heart filled with terror as she watched the transformation, her mind struggling to comprehend the nightmare unfolding before her. "What are you?" she screamed, her voice filled with terror. Kofi's eyes glowed with malevolence as he responded, "I am your husband, my dear. You wanted a man of beauty and wealth, and I gave you that. Now you will see my true form." Amina's heart pounded with fear as she watched the final transformation, her mind filled with dread and confusion. "You wanted a perfect man," it hissed. "But perfection is an illusion," Amina screamed, realizing the grave mistake she had made. The final transformation was complete, and Kofi stood before her in his true form. A massive, terrifying serpent. His scales were dark and glistening, his eyes glowing with malevolence. Amina's heart filled with terror as she realized the extent of her folly, her pride leading her to this terrifying state. Meanwhile, Idris, the young trader who had won the contest, has been following the procession in secret. He had always harbored doubts about Kofi, sensing that something was not quite right, for he had seen Kofi with the tongue of a snake on the night of the occasion, while Kofi was alone. At first, he thought his eyes were playing tricks on him, but as he turned to walk away, he heard something hissed, but couldn't find anything but Kofi. He felt tensed and scared, so he decided to keep a watchful eye on Amina, hoping to ensure her safety. As he watched the procession diminish and witnessed Kofi's strange behavior, his suspicions grew stronger. He followed them through the forest, staying hidden in the shadows, his heart heavy with concern for Amina. Idris' determination to protect her drove him forward, even as the danger grew. One night, as he watched from a distance, Idris saw Kofi return the final borrowed body parts. His heart pounded with fear and disbelief as he witnessed the monstrous transformation. He knew he had to act quickly and save Amina from the terrifying fate that awaited her. As Kofi hissed and slittered, Idris' heart filled with dread. He could see the terror in Amina's eyes, her pride shattered by the horrifying reality of her situation. Idris understood the immense danger he faced. The serpent was a formidable opponent, and Idris's heart pounded with fear. He knew he wouldn't be able to face the monster, so he ran as fast as he could to the king, his heart racing with urgency. He burst into the throne room, his breath ragged as he fell to his knees before King Malik. "Your Majesty, you must listen to me," he pleaded, his voice filled with desperation. King Malik, startled by Idris's sudden appearance, looked at him with concern. "What is it, young man? What has happened?" he asked, his voice tinged with worry. Idris took a moment to catch his breath before recounting everything he had witnessed. He described Kofi's transformation into the monstrous serpent and his sinister plan to deceive Amina. "We must save her, Your Majesty," he implored, his eyes filled with determination. King Malik's heart sank as he listened to Idris's tale. He knew that they faced a formidable foe in Kofi, but he also knew that he could not abandon his daughter to such a fate. "Gather the warriors and hunters," he ordered, his voice firm and resolute. "We must confront the serpent and rescue Princess Amina." The kingdom sprang into action as word spread of the impending battle. Warriors drew their swords and hunters readied their bows and arrows. Led by King Malik, the army marched into the wilderness, guided by Idris's knowledge of Kofi's whereabouts. They traversed dense forests and treacherous terrain, their hearts filled with determination and courage. As they neared the serpent's lair, the air grew heavy with tension. The ground shook beneath their feet, and the forest echoed with the serpent's menacing ease. Amina, trapped within Kofi's grasp, heard the approaching footsteps of her father's army. Hope flickered in her heart as she prayed for deliverance. The battle began with a ferocity that shook the very earth. Warriors clashed with the serpents, their swords flashing in the sunlight. Hunters launched arrows with deadly accuracy, aiming for the serpent's vulnerable spots. Kofi, now fully transformed into the massive serpent, unleashed his fury upon the army. His eyes glowed with rage as he lashed out with his powerful tail and razor-sharp fangs. Warriors fought bravely, their hearts filled with determination to protect their princess and their kingdom. Idris watched from a distance, his heart heavy with concern for Amina's safety. He knew that the battle would be difficult, but he also knew that they had to defeat the serpent at all costs. Fueled by a desire to save Amina, Idris joined the fray with a determination that belied his humble appearance. He fought alongside the warriors, his skill and bravery earning him respect and admiration. He urged the warriors onward, his voice filled with encouragement and resolve. The battle raged on for hours, each moment filled with peril and uncertainty. The serpent's strength seemed inexhaustible, its fury unmatched, but the army fought with courage and determination, unwilling to back down in the face of such a formidable opponent. Just as it seemed that all hope was lost, the tide of battle began to turn. A group of skilled hunters managed to pierce the serpent's hide with their arrows, weakening its defenses. King Malik, seeing the opportunity to strike, rallied his warriors for a final assault. They fought with renewed vigor, their hearts filled with hope and determination. The serpent, sensing its imminent defeat, grasped and writhed in a desperate attempt to escape. With a final decisive blow, King Malik struck the serpent's vulnerable spot. The creature let out a deafening roar of agony, its massive form collapsing to the ground. A hush fell over the battlefield as the serpent lay defeated, its once fearsome eyes now dimmed and lifeless. Amina, freed from Kofi's grasp, rushed into her father's arms, her heart overflowing with gratitude and relief. "Thank you, father," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. King Malik held her hands in his own heart, filled with joy at her safe return. Humbled by her experience, Amina begged her father for his forgiveness. King Malik embraced her, his heart aching for his daughter's suffering. Amina vowed to change, to become a better person, and to heed the wisdom of those who loved her. As peace returned to the kingdom of Ndebele, Amina reflected on the lessons she had learned. Her pride had led her down a dangerous path, but it had also taught her the value of humility and kindness. She vowed to be a better person, worthy of the love and respect of her people. Idris, his role in saving Amina, recognized by all, found himself welcomed into the royal family with open arms. His courage and determination had earned him not only Amina's gratitude, but also the admiration of the entire kingdom. King Malik, grateful for the safety of his daughter and the bravery of his warriors, declared a grand feast in honor of their victory. The kingdom celebrated late into the night, their hearts filled with joy and gratitude. Amina, her heart filled with newfound humility, approached Idris. "You have shown me the true meaning of bravery and kindness," she said, her voice filled with sincerity. "I was blind to the qualities that truly matter, but you have opened my eyes. Thank you, Idris." Idris's eyes gleamed with warmth as he responded, "You have shown great courage as well, Amina, and I am honored to have been a part of your journey." King Malik, seeing the bond that has formed between Idris and Amina, gave his blessing for their union. The kingdom of Ndebele rejoiced as they celebrated a new beginning, filled with hope and promise. Amina and Idris, their hearts filled with love and gratitude, embarked on a new journey, their bond strengthened by the trials they had faced and overcome. Still in the spirit of celebration, Amina and Idris danced under the stars, surrounded by friends and loved ones. They knew that they had faced their fears and emerged stronger together. Their journey had been fraught with danger and uncertainty, but it had also brought them closer and taught them the true meaning of love and courage. And so, the kingdom of Ndebele flourished once more, united by the bonds of friendship and the triumph of good over evil. As the sun rose on a new day, Amina and Idris looked to the future with hope and promise, their heart filled with a love that will endure for all time.